here with Dr. Ryan Neuhofel. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Neuhofel.
And you have an abbreviation, Dr. New.
My patients call me Dr. New.
Okay, that's N-E-U?
N-E-U, yes.
So I said it on your presentation, and again, we're at the Partnership with Patients Summit with Dr. New, and I believe you're a family practitioner in Lawrence, Kansas.
Lawrence, yes.
What's different about your practice?
I do something called direct primary care, and what that is basically I have totally, from scratch, created a practice where me and my patients contract with each other. We don't deal with insurance, we don't accept insurance, insurance isn't required. And basically just starting from that premise of build a kind of a high-tech, really low overhead practice, and it started last December.
So you take no insurance?
None. We don't contract with anybody but our patients.
And is that because you want to be free of the administrative aspects of insurance?
Yeah. My experience throughout training was that I ended up doing a lot of stuff that didn't really benefit the patients, and I just wanted to do something that made sense for me and my patients, and so yes, that's basically it.
So when you bill patients, you're billing for increments of your time, much like a lawyer would bill for his or her time?
Yeah, so what we do is we actually, and there's some other doctors doing variations on this model. What we did was we have a really low membership fee, $10 or $20 a month, based on your age. So if you're 30 and up, it's $20 a month. 29 and under, it's $10 a month.
And is that like a signed contract for a certain period of time?
No, there's no commitment. It's not like a cell phone contract. It's basically just an ongoing.
So they can make an appointment that month if they paid the fee.
They can make it the first day. They usually do. Most of my patients start the membership fee when they come in.
Right.
And it's like an automated billing system, but there's no contract if you cancel for any reason because I make a bad joke or you move. There's no commitments. So and basically that's an ongoing thing. And for that membership fee, we do a lot of things. I'm available 24/7 by phone. People have my personal email. They can email me. I communicate that way. And we don't charge for every little thing we do.
Right.
So stuff that's like really cheap, like urine tests, point of care testing that doesn't cost me very much. I don't charge for that. I don't charge for EKGs. I don't charge for urine tests, strep tests, a whole host of things.
But you have agreements with a couple of laboratories.
Yeah, so if we need to send people outside of our system, what I've tried to do is negotiate prices. I try to do as much stuff in-house as I can because that makes it more affordable.
Having a relationship with a physician like yourself, I might get a little bit more attentive care.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Because you use a lot of social media and you're accessible and things like that.
Well, that's the thing is when I made this practice, I had a strong desire to be creative and innovate. And when I looked at kind of the traditional insurance-based model, I didn't see room for innovation and room for creativity. So this has basically let me use a lot of high-tech methods. I'm on social media, educate my patients that way. My patients can email me. I do webcam visits like over FaceTime or Skype.
So you do basically virtual house calls?
And I do real house calls too.
and so you do real house calls, you do virtual house calls. A couple of people commented about malpractice insurance, and you seem to have very standard answers for that. You have like a very logical, common sense approach. Candidly, I think you're way too logical for the healthcare business.
I know. I should have. Well, that's because no one in my family is in healthcare. My dad is a butcher.
There you go. You also mentioned that you do consult with two attorneys, which is very smart. I'm sure you do so really minimally just to make sure you're doing things right.
As little as possible. I try to avoid lawyers.
Yeah, but you mentioned that you put a note in each patient's chart.
So a lot of stuff that we do, that we offer, I should say, a lot of stuff that we offer, like emailing me, personal health information, is not 100% secure. There's no doubt about that.
And you have HIPAA to worry about. I mean,
in some respects, yes. In some respects, yes. And I let my patients know that if they use web-based email, we give them options for more secure forms of communication. They can send me secure messages through my website. But I really want to meet patients where they're at. I think there's ecosystems out there that are probably more secure, but if it's not where people truly live and how they communicate with everyone in their life, then it doesn't work as well. So I do everything I can to make things as secure as possible, but at the same time recognizing that security cannot be, it should not prevent us from doing things that are very logical and improve people's health. I mean, I think that we use that often as a huge imaginary hurdle that, oh, we can't go there, we can't do that. And then you have to use common sense. I mean, I think there's certainly issues that are probably not appropriate to do over a FaceTime call on your iPhone, but it's such a useful tool that I don't understand why, as long as you're using common sense, you shouldn't be able to do those kind of things.
You mentioned that you made one how-to video. And
I made a couple now, yeah.
Yeah, and patients have actually watched them, and when you didn't know that, and then when they came to you with the condition...
They weren't even my patients at the time.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
Yeah, my first video I made was just my nurse and I. I'm kind of a tech geek, but I had a digital camera, a DSLR camera, and I stood in front of my chalkboard and explained what hemoglobin A1C was. It's an average blood sugar, and I do this because I always give this speech over and over and over. And I've had a patient come to me once who's a new diabetic, and I'd done this several months ago, and they came to me on the first visit, and I said, well, one of the things we really need to watch is your A1C. And I said, what it is, and I started explaining it, kind of like almost I do in the video. Right. And she's like, hey, doc, I already watched that on Facebook. You don't need to tell that. And I was like, oh, it works.
That's great.
Which is my intention, but it's always cool to see it in practice as opposed to just like an idea. So
that's great. And just before we go, your Facebook page is?
Facebook.com/newcare, or Twitter is @newcare.
When people make appointments, do they go to your Facebook page?
They actually go to my website. I built like a kind of a messaging platform.
What is your website?
Newcare.net. NEUcare.net.
Well, listen, thank you very much.